Hey everyone, Ratty here, and today we will be reacting slash reviewing to Sleep Tokens, This Place Will Become Your Tomb. So I've been really excited to get into this album, and I'm super happy I finally get to show y'all this video. And then just as a heads up, I've got the next album video already recorded, so be ready for that, and the newest single. I just need to get the editing out of the way. That takes a little while, but once I get that out of the way, you will get those videos as well, so be ready for those. And just a couple things really quick. So for the first like 2 minutes, maybe, I don't know, it's like half of Atlantic. The recording quality is a little bit worse because I had to grab it from a VOD because I forgot to hit record until about halfway through Atlantic. But after that, the whole rest of the video is in actual recording quality and not VOD quality. So there is that. And then also I say in the video that I've listened to 2 of the songs before, or that I didn't know, and I only listened to one of them before. It was Hypnosis. The other one after that, I think what happened is that I at some point left my computer and then it auto played that song when I was away because I've never heard it before until this video. But yeah, I just had to get that out of the way. And anyways, let's get straight to it. Yeah, I did hear, Nick, that everybody, or like a lot of comments were saying that based on the songs I liked on the first album, I'd like this one even more. Anyways, let's finally get into this. Starting off with Atlantic. I'm excited to hear this. Is it weird? I'm already getting goosebumps.
So flood me like Atlantic, bandage up the trenches, anything to get me to sleep. Surrounding eyes like frozen planets, just orbiting the vacuum I am. And they talk me through the damage, consequence, and how it's a pain they know they don't understand. Sobbing as they turn to statues at the bedside, I'm trying not to crush into sand. So flood me like Atlantic, weather me to nothing, wash away the blood on my hands.
Alright, I'll pause it here. This is really good. This is a fantastic start already. I'm like, despite this being a kind of slow song, it feels very emotional. I haven't even looked at the lyrics yet. I did pull them up. I haven't really looked into them yet though. But I mean, right off the bat, I was getting goosebumps. I don't know if that's just out of pure excitement from getting back into Sleep Token, or if it's just from the, I guess I'm kind of getting to the same point, just the joy of listening to them. The vocals have been great as per usual. I love how the instrumental is simple. It's just a simple piano ballad, and it's not even doing anything too crazy yet, and it still is so beautiful. My eyes were actually tearing up a little bit for that first half. that I think they're starting to dry up a little bit, so I think we're going to be okay. It's pretty bad when you're crying on first song. But yeah, so far this is really, really good. I'm gonna just kind of skim through the lyrics we've gotten through so far. To wasteland when the oceans recede, merry in the morning. Earn your bitter fodder, it's easier to try not to eat. Honestly, I have no idea what they're talking about, because there's a lot that they could be talking about, but regarding just like being poor in a bunch of different metaphorical ways, yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Anyways, let me just go back to the song. What the hell?
Don't you
Oh my gosh. That was awesome. that song is really, really good. I love like that classic sleep token thing you get where they're doing something completely different and then they go into that big old rock segment. In this case, it's like a piano ballad into that rock segment. But the way that it drops off at the very end too, that's disgustingly good, man. And then when just the percussion that's brought into in that last half is going absolutely ham the entire time. It sounds so good. There's so much going on here too. It just feels like I'm actually like, the song's called The Atlantic, and it does create a soundscape that feels like I'm in an ocean. Whether it be, I think I saw somebody mention there's like a staticky or rain sound. I think it's rain or some sort of water droplets. I think that adds to the atmosphere. There's some, even like in the guitar section, the way that they're playing the guitar, it's sort of synth-like, and to me, that feels water-esque. Let me go back to the beginning, not the whole beginning, but just to section really quick, because I feel like I'm missing something. Yep, okay. I knew I was missing something. There's a droning in the background. I believe it's just a synth that's droning. And there's also just a ton of reverb on everything. And to me, that really helps to represent the like vastness of an ocean. And that I think it encapsulates like that sinking feeling of being in water and falling farther and farther. I think they did a really, really good job in creating that soundscape, because it does immerse you really, really well. I mean, this whole song is just littered though with metaphors. Like that I feel like it would take forever to pick apart this stuff. You can tell too, because when a song has a ton of genius annotations, you know that it gets pretty deep, and there's a lot of hidden meanings behind things, which that's a sign of really good songwriting. The little choir, oh yeah, at the end, like the vocal layers. Yeah, that was also really, really nice. Of course, I'm kind of a sucker for choirs and vocal layering. The whole album is water-esque. That's exciting. Maybe I should change the lights to be water themed. There we go. And now we're swimming in the deep. They say the eyes like frozen planets part is when he wakes up to the hospital, doctors and staff looking down on him after he gets rescued. The eyes like frozen planets. Let me go back to that. I woke up surrounded, eyes like frozen planets, just orbiting the vacuum I am. They talk me through the damage, consequence, and how it's a pain they don't understand. Okay. Yep, that immediately makes sense. And then talks about being at bedside. Yep, okay. That adds up immediately. Alrighty. Let's get into this next song. Hypnosis. Okay. I have heard this one. I don't remember what it sounds like at all. I don't even remember if I liked it or disliked it, to be honest. But we're about to find out. Whoa, those drums. Okay, I'll go back to right before that. You know, I'm liking this one quite a bit so far. Not as much as the first one, though. I think the percussion on this song is really, really good. Man, but to be fair, that first one also had really good percussion. The percussion, I think, was better in the last half of the first one so far. But also, they were kind of trying to go ham on that second half of the song. Well, this one might end up doing the same thing. Oh, what was it? Oh, yeah, the guitar. The basic riff that's kind of repeating. It feels very, very James Bond like. To bring up James Bond once again in comparison to music happens at least once every few streams, but that's what I get out of it. And then I think it's interesting because, like, you hypnotize me always. I feel like when I'm reading that line or listening to it, the way I interpret it is like either someone is so or like a cult like mindset where you're so hypnotized by like this group person idea that you're completely lost in it and you've lost sight of everything else. Or in a less downer way, it could be just like you love somebody or I don't know, something so much in a like a positive way that it's almost like hypnosis, because that's all you want to think about, that's all you do think about, but again in more of a positive light, so a positive connotation, while the previous would be more of a negative. I don't know, I think I went back already, but go back a little further. Oh, I fell. Oh, that's so creepy sounding. No, that okay. Here's my prediction now. I have a feeling this might not be 100% consistent, but based off of these first two songs, I have a feeling it might have a sense of deepening, like as you get through each song in the album. It's gonna feel like you're falling further and further into the Atlantic or the water. Because this one, to me, that ending is so creepy and like dark sounding. I don't know. This could just be a me thing, but it feels like we're sinking. We're slowly getting further into this pit or into these depths. I'm curious if I'm going to continue getting that feeling though from song to song throughout this album, because we're only 2 songs in and it feels like we're getting pretty deep into it. But yeah, that was really good. And you know, my one thing is that the heavier part of that outro instrumental, I think it was a little long, but I still really liked it, and I like that it went into the very creepy instrumental at the end. And I'm happy that it didn't just stick to the very heavy section all the way to the end, because then I would have been a little tired of it. Because I saw that there was like, I took a glance and I was like, oh my gosh, there's still like a minute left. I was like, there's no way it's going to be just this heavy instrumental for the rest, and luckily it wasn't. We got some variation there towards the end. Yeah, that was a very good song once again. I like the high and low you knows here. Oh, and the, what is that, the bridge? Yeah, there's like the lower vocals and then the higher vocals all mixed in with the mids. Yeah, that does sound really good, and that's another good use of layering. Sleeptoken does a really good job with layering vocals, especially when it comes to having layers of vocals and then singing on top of them. I've heard them do that in several songs, and it usually pans out really, really well. I can't think of one that sounds bad when they make use of the layering that they try to stick to. Yeah, so that always sounds good. When you say that, the meters in music videos show they're getting deeper in the water. Wait, where's that at? Is that just like in later music videos, or is that just in like all of them? Like the visualizers all have meters too? Because if so, then that's crazy. That's crazy that I caught on to that so early, if that's true. Somewhere near the title, I think. I don't doubt you, but I don't see it. So we'll just move on for now. Up next, we've got Sleeptoken Mine. I guess I don't really need to say their band name each time.
I have waited, paralyzed by my own will, viciously reminding me still I'm born to believe.
Oh, there's the meters.
And I am
right below E.
certain, no, that you and I are crashing course, driven by a holy force. I know you can see that you will be mine. Yeah, you will be mine.
What the? Oh my gosh, how we're 3 songs in and all of these have been so good. I can't handle this. This oh my god, it's so good. I'm wondering if they have because 2 is percussion, right? I wonder if he's the one doing all the like xylophone sound and synths or whatever they are. Oh my gosh, they sound so good though. And then the pews. Oh man, I love that instrumental so much. And it's weird because this one so far sounds like it's a bit on the happier side. You know, if I remember right, weren't a lot of I feel like a lot of Sleeptoken songs in general feel like they could be talking about a relationship, but I'm pretty sure, based on some of the comments that I get, is that that's kind of like a first layer to a second. Like there's a deeper layer behind that, or maybe not behind it, but alongside it with like the whole Sleeptoken lore. So maybe I have a misunderstanding, but I feel like it's almost like they're using a relationship as a, what would that be? Like an allusion to something deeper. Yes, a bit happier, but sounds Delulu type happy, which makes it sadder. I've never heard of the phrase Delulu type happy, but I think I might get what you mean, where it's like a bittersweet happiness, where it feels like there's something, this is what I'm getting out of it, just based on sound alone. It kind of feels like a happiness, but there's something right below the surface that's kind of negative. Like, you know that something bad is either about to happen, or you're recovering from something bad that had happened, and you're in the process of getting over it. That's what I'm getting out of the sound alone. I don't know. It's weird how you can get different meanings just from listening to stuff. You don't even need to hear the lyrics. Maybe I'm gonna get too analytical on this one. Okay, anyways, let me get back to it. The guitar sounds so good here. It's like Joji type guitar. that backing synth. That vocoder on those vocals is so good. It sounds like they have a vocoder and then some auto-tune set so it stays at one key. Oh my god, that just hits so nicely. That whole bridge was also like, and I feel like that just hits different too, especially when you're like looking at the lyrics. Did you not say we were made for each other? Yeesh. Yeah, it does feel like he's talking about either someone who they broke up and it's obviously, you know, in a lot of pain over it, or it's someone who passed away and they left too soon. But yeah, that was a really good song. And holy cow, let me just mention this again. They're nailing this underwater sound so well. It's such a abstract concept that on the surface it feels like it'd be hard to capture that in music, but I think again they're doing a really good job with it so far. Like a really good job with it. See the "you will be mine's" in the end? How he repeats it seems like he knows it's not true, but he wants it to be true. That's true. It's true. And again, we get that vocal layering, but in this case, it's just the chorus and then the "you will be," like all of the super auto-tune vocoded lines. Oh my gosh, I wish there was more I could say with this. It feels like I'm just getting too into the song. For my own good. I'm really enjoying this so far, and it's not what I was expecting after hearing the first album. This does not sound the same to me. This sounds quite a bit different. Like you're getting similar elements, again going back to the vocal layering stuff, but at the same time it sounds so much different. It's weird. It's weird how different it sounds while also still being Sleep Token. Okay, so up next we have Like That. I'm actually going to put my hair up too. Anyways though, Like That.
Trapped under the surface of your words, there is a new intention, new whispers that once could not be heard, catching your intention. Wait, talking with razors on your tongue, just to provoke my combat. New weapons to snap those final strings, just to watch me fall back. Do you like that? Do you
Okay. I think the second half of the song is going to do it, but I thought that was going to hit some sort of breakdown or something, and it just kind of it felt like I was being edged up to something that just never happened, and then I was brought into the next verse. I'm liking it, but it just caught me off guard by quite a bit. I do love, though, the switch. I don't know if it was just for the chorus. I think it might have been towards the end of verse 1 into the chorus. It switched into a lot more synthy sound. Like, I'm thinking cyberpunk type sounds, which obviously I really love that type of stuff. And I just find that interesting because I could hear that, like, I could hear it being played in that universe. I'm gonna go back to it just for a second. We're at 119. Okay, 1 second. It kind of feels like those synths that are currently playing are kind of creeping in a little more and more. Yeah, right here. It's like a very bassy synth. I love that sound so much. I don't know why, it just clicks for me. Let's get back to it. The drum fill is crazy. Whispering. With how that whispering is like the outro of the song, and the way that it kind of gets quieter and quieter, it again feels like we're just getting pulled farther down. Like we're just getting dragged down deeper and deeper. Oh man. Yeah, this is another really good song. And not to sound like a broken record, but the vocal layering on verse 3, it was so crazy because you get the regular vocals, and then you get the whispering, and then there's the falsettos in the background, and then you get more of like a mid-tone. I believe there's a fourth one too that's also just another mid-tone, maybe a little bit higher in certain parts. It's just, how are they that good at doing that? It's baffling to me how good they are at with the layers. And what's nice too is that as someone who I hate whispering like in my ears, especially in songs. They do it well here because I don't know, some songs, the way that they mix and master it, it feels like it's piercing into my soul and I hate it. This though, it feels like it's actually listenable, which is so nice because then I get to respect the artistry of it without feeling grossed out by the whispering. So that's a big dub on my end. Sorry, 1 second. I'm reading through verse 1. Okay. I think I'm getting the gist of this. It feels like the turnaround in a relationship where your significant other is like they're saying things that feel like they're maybe a bit backhanded, or there's something behind them that's a little more, I hate to use sinister because that's pretty drastic, but I'll just use that because I think that gets the points across. Like there's almost like a sinister feeling behind the things that they're saying, and right at this moment in time, he's starting to fully understand, and like he's starting to hear that and grasp on it, pick up on it, especially with lines like talking with razors on your tongue. I feel like that one's pretty blatant. Where it's like there's some form of negativity behind those words, even if there's a positive like overlay. And then I realized the line too, new whispers that once could not be heard. Oh my gosh, that's so good because of course there's the whispering throughout the song. Dude, do you have a fan blowing near your curtain or a ghost? Oh, wasn't moving. No, it's just really windy outside. Anyways, what's up next? The Love You Want. Oh, is that the first actual music video? I think it is.
You lying in circle on your own continuum. Now keep the freak show talk to a careful minimum. I'll find a different harbor to lay my anchor in. And you'll find a different way to keep from setting sail again. No, but I'm still full of the love you want, still waking up beneath it all, and I'm still full of the love you want. I'll reach for you, unafraid alone. Seems your heart is locked up, and I still get the combination wrong. Or are you simply waiting to save your love for someone I am not?
My hands are like doing this. They're spazzing.
Too many swallowed keys will make you bleed internally someday. Oh, maybe you believe that in the end you will be better off that way. Oh.
Okay, let me pause it here really quick. I'm really getting into this one. Like throughout the first like verse 1 and chorus, I was like so just like really listening that it just like it went by so fast. This one I can see why it has a music video. To me it sounds like it's a little more mainstream. Not I'm trying to put that in a way where it's not like it's generic or anything. That's not my intention by saying that. It just feels like it's built for a wider audience. They're not doing anything too like sleep tokeny yet. I don't know, that might be a bad take, but either way though, I think it definitely does sound a little more mainstream sounding, which again isn't bad. I think it sounds really good. This one could be my second favorite on this album so far, just based on the first half. I'm really enjoying it. And as I was paying more, locking back in for the second verse after getting a little too deep into the song, I find the lyrics really interesting with this one. Because what really caught my attention was the line, "Too many swallowed keys will make you bleed internally someday." That line stuck out to me because that's such a... Because obviously I think it's a pretty straightforward meaning. Like you're swallowing keys, so you're hiding something. Because if you swallow a key, you don't want anybody to get it. You don't want anybody to have it. And in this case, I'll just read through the whole verse because I think that puts it in more of a perspective. Seems your heart is locked up and I still get the combination wrong. Or are you simply wanting to save your love for someone I am not? Too many swallowed keys will make you bleed internally someday. Maybe you believe that in the end, you'll be better off that way. Assuming, like, this is from his perspective, but assuming that his perspective is, like, correct, this person, whether it be a previous significant lover or someone that he just does love and wants to be in a relationship with, they're purposely hiding their feelings away, probably to avoid being hurt from, like, similar to like a previous relationship they had or something similar. They don't want to be put into a position where either they could hurt him or vice versa. To stop that, they're hiding all their emotions away. And I don't know, it's like, it doesn't feel like it's too complicated, but it feels like it was written really well. Like, it sounds like pure poetry. That verse sticks out to me a lot. I really, really love that. Always feels odd seeing Vessel in actual vids. That's what I was thinking too. Like, as immediately I got to see him, and I'm like, weird, because it kind of gave me goosebumps right off the bat, because it's almost like I'm watching a movie, and I finally get to see this character that I've been hearing so much, and that I've been loving so much from afar. It's really, really interesting. Especially because I think his mask is really, I just like how it looks. It feels like a good sci-fi character, or not sci-fi character per se, but just a good story character, I guess. Anyways, though, let me get back to it.
And I'm still full of the love you want. And I'm still full of the love you want. And I'm still full of the love you want. The love you want. The love you want. And I'm still full of the love you want. And I'm still full of the love you want. And I'm still full of the love you want. The love you want. The love you want. Lying inside on your own continuum. Not keep the freak show talk to a careful minimum.
Oh my god. I was tearing up again on this one too. Yeah, I really, really love this song. I'm really loving this album. If this album is keeping up at this pace, I'm gonna like it a lot more than the previous one, which is crazy because I liked that album quite a bit. This one, just from so I was wondering, because he like commits sewer slide there at the end. That's, I'm wondering if that's a sort of callback to the first song. It was about the attempt, and this is the attempt in this video. I thought it was interesting because I couldn't tell with the choreography, but it looked like it was trying to show him killing those girls, but the girls stand for something. It's not like he's just on a murder spree, if that's the case. And I don't know if that's just him trying to like put down his feelings or what. Either way, like, this one is a very, very emotional song. One of the, I think maybe it's not the most emotional song on this album so far, but it kind of feels like it. This and the first one, I think both feel really, really emotional. I don't know. I wasn't expecting to be on the verge of tears twice already within first half of this album, but here we are. That line, "I reach for you on faith alone," in the chorus too. I feel like that's a very, very significant line, just because it's, I feel like it shows that he's pure with his intentions, and just that this other person isn't realizing that he's trying to be as pure as possible, but it's not connecting. The lines aren't connecting with it. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it, I don't know, but that's what I'm getting out of that. That line definitely stands out to me, not just because it's highlighted on Genius. It is highlighted. I believe him trying to swing the sword on her is him trying to cut her out of his life, but failing, and once again repeating the cycle. The white ties on the tree showing the many times he's done this. You're 100% right. So that's kind of what I was saying, except for I think you're more specific, and I think yours is a little better, your explanation. He's trying to cut her out specifically, but it never fully works. I think that's something a lot of people can probably relate to. I think the lyrics are emotional, but the poppy sound is distracting me. I don't know. I really love the poppy sound. And also, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's what makes it more mainstream sounding, I think. It's just the more poppy elements in this song. Man, is this actually my favorite? This might be my favorite song. Just because this one, it does feel so emotional. Oh my god, I'm still on the verge of tearing up just from thinking about it. I'm getting themes of looking for rebound lady with the different harbor part. Is that one of the lines? Oh, yep, I see it. You lie an inch apart on your own continuum, which that's actually how the song ends. Now keep the freak show talk to a careful minimum. I'm not sure what he means by that. Oh, unless he's talking about her talking about him as if he's a freak show. I'll find a different harbor to lay my anchor in, and you'll find a different way to keep from setting sail again. Oh, it's like she keeps on trying to wait. Are they on the same boat in that metaphor? I'll find a different harbor to lay my anchor in, and you'll find a different way to keep from sailing again. Okay, I think it's trying to show them being on like the same boat. So every time that he tries to leave, the feelings of her keeps him from leaving. Okay, yeah, I get what you mean now with the rebound thing. All right, I'm spending a lot of time on this song. This one, it feels like it's a very important song, and there's probably a reason why it's one of the ones with a video, other than the fact that it is, I think, more widely appealing. Okay, up next we have Sleep Token Fall For Me, which again, it shows that I've listened to this. I don't think I have. I think what happened is it probably autoplayed when I was away from my computer editing one of my previous Sleep Token vids, if I had to guess. But I'll probably find out soon enough. You know if you heard this or not? For sure this one is unique. Okay, cool.
In a city of ice, there are burning cathedrals.
Okay, yeah, I haven't heard this one.
Turning the skies into glass. And through echoing futures are the buckling sutures that horse at the wounds of the past. So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? Through a fractured existence, won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? From reality to the rhythm of eternity, won't you fall for me? My insecurities surround me like lions in the den, and I feel like I'm losing touch with what I am again. Slowly I remember why I cannot pretend that I never think of you in all this screaming silence. Oh God, I wish you were here. So won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me?
And I know it's criminal that but I have to pause it here. So I don't get taken down. Let me just think of something to talk about, because I'm already tears have officially broke here. I'm actually crying here. I love this vocoder. Holy cow. They always make just the perfect choice of the vocoders, and this one is very reminiscent of Imogen Heap, which I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar with that style of vocoder. Which I think that especially makes it more emotional, because what's that specific Imogen Heap song? Everybody knows it. I can't remember the name. Is it Hide and Seek? Yeah, that song. I feel like that song is kind of an emotional song, so it kind of instantly clicked in that regard. And it just literally, the sound alone is making me this emotional. Like, again, it's crazy how they're able to portray such deep feelings just through the sound alone. Like, I don't even have to be reading the lyrics to get that effect from it, which I think is really telling, again, of just good music. Anyways, though, let me get back to it. I think I've paused long enough.
Oh God, I wish you were here.
I just can't do this anymore.
Fall for me. Won't you fall for me? Through a fractured existence, end, so won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? From reality to the rhythm of eternity. Won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? With my love is your garden. Won't you fall for me? Won't you fall for me? From reality, I am yours in the end, so won't you fall for me?
Oh, that line, it was, what was it? Right here. If we were to be submerged, let us be submerged. Essentially, if you go down, I'm going down with you. A classic saying, just reworded to match the theme of this album. You know, I think I missed quite a few lines in the music video just because there's, it's hard to keep, you're listening to this great, it's not even really an instrumental, it's just this vocoder. You're listening to this, you're watching the music video, it's hard to focus on all this at once, trying to pay attention to the lyrics. There's so much going on. Another absolute banger of a song. I cannot believe how much I'm liking this album so far. Like, this is, it's so good. And this one just feels so emotional, and I think they're just really hitting those marks at being relatable with this album too. Like, won't you fall for me, won't you fall for me? Just that chorus on repeat. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have at some point been in sort of in a situation where they're like, they desperately want this person to reciprocate feelings back. And I think this song is a good portrayal of that feeling. I think it does a really good job with that. This is disgustingly good. Wow, this video is so crushing. Yeah, that's what I think the imagery too of him like crawling his way through the beach into the water and submerging is really cool. Yes, you have to read the lines in the music video almost separately from the lyrics. Yeah, like luckily I think like if you just scroll through, I can get a basic idea of what's going on with the lines in the video. They're pretty much just a mirror of the lyrics. Just they're not saying the same things, but it's like the same point is getting across. I think it's making it more so, it's making it easier to visualize what they're saying with the lyrics is kind of what I'm getting out of it. It's almost like a simplified version, like a TLDR of it. Now that we're done with that really emotional song, let's get to another one. I don't know, maybe this one will be just as emotional, maybe it won't be. We've got Alkaline.
Every once in a while something changes, and she's changing me. It's too late for me now, I am altered. There is something beneath. She's not acid, no alkaline, caught between black and white, not quite either day or night. She's perfectly misaligned. I'm caught up in her design and how it connects to mine. I see in a different light the objects of my desire. Ooh, let's talk about chemistry, 'cause I'm dying to melt through to the heart of her molecules, till the particles part like holy water. If anything, she's an undiscovered element, either born in hell or heaven sent. Either way, I'm into it. Caught between black and white, not quite either
Oh my gosh, another song where I get too far and I literally have to pause it. Why YouTube? If I didn't have to pause it, that would be so much better. This I got so sucked into this song. I mean, I'm really loving this song, the previous songs. It's like, you know, it's hitting hard when I'm completely getting lost in them. That's wild. Man, I haven't even like had a full thought process while listening to this one yet. I've just been caught up in the music video because it's super cool with like the hazmats with guns. I don't know what's going on. It's like, in this case, he's the monster and they're trying to take him down. I wonder if that does correlate with the lyrics at all. It's too late for me now. I'm altered. There's something beneath. Okay. There's the monster inside. It feels a little edgy. Although I don't know if there's supposed to be correlation between like this music video and not the beach one, that one feels different, but the one before that with like all the dancing with the choreography and stuff. I'm wondering if there's supposed to be some correlation between the two. It doesn't feel like it, but who knows, there might be. Let me go back though quite a bit. I like the use of stop motion on his movements. Oh my god, it's Kylo Ren. Okay, 1 second. I want to talk about, I think there's like a squid or octopus monster, which might be a callback to Hypnosis, the visualizer on that. The vines were sick, by the way. I thought that was cool. Obviously, this is kind of a Star Wars reference with a lot of stuff that's been happening with this, but I thought the vines were really cool. Okay, no, it's like the weird spider legs that were from the chest. Okay. Like when it first popped in, I was like, is that like octopus tentacles? But no, it's like whatever those weird skeletal spider legs were earlier on. But yeah, I was paying a little bit more attention to the to the lyrics in the chorus. And it definitely is pointing out like an obsessive nature over like wanting, like it's an absolute obsession to him wanting this person. Like that is very clear with the chorus. Yeah, she's perfectly misaligned. I'm caught up in her design and how it connects to mine. Yeah, I think it does feel like an obsession when you're reading these lines. Alrighty. Yeah, that was good. Another good song. I feel like there's probably a lot more to the lyrics, but this one is kind of going over my head, I think. So if there's anything like super deep in this one, I'm not really catching on to it. It sounds good though, the song as a whole. I feel like there's, I don't know, I wish I had more to say about this one, but to me, I just don't know what to add. I will say the synths at the beginning, they kind of give, if you took like an organ and we're playing like some Dracula song and then switch it over to synths, I know that's quite the process, but that's kind of the feeling that I get out of them. And it's almost like a Stranger Things synth. It's kind of, if that makes any sense. Alrighty, I'll leave that one there. I feel like I could say more, but I don't know what else to add. Next we've got distraction. Oh no, I don't think I need any distractions. I'm getting too distracted by the music. I'm not supposed to do that as a reactor. Okay.
When I know I can tell I'm falling.
Okay. Am I crazy, or I feel like some of these synths were used in the previous album. I'm sure there's some cases of other things being reused too, but there's like a backing synth here that I feel like maybe it's used in the third album, like because I've heard like I think two or three songs from the third album. Maybe I'm thinking of that one. I feel like though I've heard these backing synths in some other song in their discography. I might be crazy though. I'm not too sure. Also, I noticed the depth on this one. We're at 7,284 meters. The last time that we saw a depth was in another visualizer pretty early on, and we were only at 2,780, I don't know, something like that. 84 maybe? I don't know. It was 2,700 something meters. So we've we've over doubled our distance here. We're going for quite the dive. Let me get back to this. I'm liking it so far.
When days away, she is not like any other. No, something more than I could ask for. 'Cause I am broken into fractions. Oh, and I am driven to distraction. No. With each
That drop off is so good. Oh, and it's building back up again. This section goes so hard. It was brought back from the beginning too. I think it went hard then too. It's like that. It has a certain roughness to it because it doesn't. It's not like super melodic, especially when you hear the repeated dun 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 dun. But it's like it's adding a little roughness to those edges to kind of. I don't even know. It does something in my mind. I can say that much. You know, I think it sort of like amplifies a harsher feeling behind the beauty. Because I think this is a beautiful song, but you get the very harshness of hearing a repeated note over and over again. And it creates a weird juxtaposition, I think, that, again, amplifies that harshness, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it was another good song, another very emotional song. This album is just put together really, really well in general. Also on this one, I thought it was interesting because I think I liked the verses more than I did the chorus. The chorus wasn't bad. I just really, really liked the verses. I think they sounded a little better. Swear she's not like any other. No, something more than I could ask for. He's essentially just putting her on a pedestal with that line. When I know I can tell him falling further again, but I won't turn away. It's too late for me. That first verse could have a couple different meanings. As in, like, he's falling further into the pit of like just like sorrow and despair, or he's falling further into loving this person. And it's like he's just saying it's too late for him to turn back. He's already gone too far. Although I want to say it's like he's gone too far of just like being depressed to the point where he's like, I can't take it anymore. Because that seems to be kind of a theme throughout this, where it's just sadness that's so deep it gets to a point where it just feels like you can't take it anymore. Like I've definitely been there. And that's what's interesting about music too, is as someone, not to get super deep here, talking about a Water album, as someone who was like super depressed for years on end, and now that I can happily say I'm not, I have two perspectives on music, because sad songs like this, they hit a lot harder when you're in those depths. Like I feel like they're easier for you to lean on, and they are just that much more relatable and that much more helpful in making you just, I don't know, they just mean so much more. And not to say that, like, obviously I really love this album, but that's like the difference is like once you're out of that, they don't quite feel the same as they would have before, because I can still picture how this one would have felt to me then versus now. Like I love it a lot now, but I think that love for it would be even harder. And I think that goes for a lot of songs that are just on the sadder side of things. This is just another good example of one of those types of songs. The song is so good at making you feel like you're at the bottom of the ocean. Again, they just do so well with the feeling of being in the depths, feeling of being in the water. Tesla's vocals on the song almost feel like a cry for help. I think his vocals really make that song. I think that goes for a lot of their music. I don't know if that's specific to this song, but I guess this one does. I think because there's sections of the song that aren't too instrumental focused, it gives his voice a lot of room to breathe. It's a safe song in my opinion, more pop. That is one thing I wanted to mention. This whole album is definitely more pop sounding. Maybe that's why I like it so much more. I don't know. That's definitely one of the bigger differences though between this and the first one. The first one had some songs that are pretty pop-like. This album as a whole though feels like the pop elements are kind of spread throughout the album pretty evenly. All right, up next we have Descending. It feels like it's getting more and more. Other than the first song, I feel like these titles are becoming a lot more water-like as it goes on too, especially in this last section. I mean, we have literally the word water right there. Isn't telomeres, isn't that some sort of like water measurement? I'm looking that up. Maybe it's a made-up word, I don't know. Okay, never mind. I'm stupid. A protective DNA protein structure found at the end of chromosomes. Okay, yeah, I was completely wrong. We can move on from that. No, oh my god, we already have really good synths right off the bat. It's like a heartbeat.
Just take it all for nothing again. Create, release, but you just don't feel the same. I asked, you answered, but you eat your words in vain. And last, discover you can't recall my name. And I wanna let you fall. You come crawling back to me, but we're on the underground. And we all know the darkest secrets. And you wonder what I believe, but you don't want me around.
Banger after banger after banger after banger. Why does this album have to be this good? Oh my god. This percussion is real. I know the percussion on this one is kind of simple, but to me it stands out. Maybe it stands out because they purposely are stripping back other layers of the instrumental to really let the percussion shine. I think that's definitely part of it. But I think just starting with the sound of a heartbeat, at least that's what I get from it, kind of leaves a strong impression. And then it almost feels like it switches to like a skipping a beat, because it does one and then it does two really quick, which I find really interesting too. And then, man, that chorus, I like how the chorus is just, it's different but the same. Like it feels like it's a totally separate part of the song, which, I mean, there's an argument to be had. That's every chorus ever, but for here it feels different. Maybe, I don't know. Who's actually playing the trap beat in the chorus, by the way? He has a pad. I hear that there's some of the songs on the last album, I remember people were telling me he was using a pad on some of them too. Let me go back to that again really quick so I can... He's playing that pretty quick too. This is still my favorite Sleep Token song. I think that's valid. I'm liking it a lot so far. What's new though? I've liked all these songs so much. Okay, anyways, let me get back to it. Again with the vocal layering, holy shit. This really sounds like a bunch of ocean sounds you'd hear at the bottom of the ocean. This is killer sound design for this outro. Another banger. And what I find interesting too as I'm looking through the lyrics is that this one feels like it's a I think a lot of the songs are kind of doing this, but it's just reiterating this idea of just him being either led on or just this girl not being open with him or reciprocating his feelings. I feel like that's very clear on this one as well. This one though, to me, makes it more, I think it leads to it more being leading on, because with the line, "You come crawling back to me, but I'm already on the ground." It's like he's already been hurt, and then she comes crawling back. But then talk is cheap, of course, and then but you don't want to be around. So it's like it's that constant leading on, keeps on sort of pulling him back, but then pushing him back away. And of course, after all that, he's left on the ground, mentally, physically destroyed by this repetition of just this push and pull from her. I think it's almost like a recap of just everything we've heard. Like all the ideas that we've heard throughout the song, put more bluntly. That's kind of what it feels like. But yeah, this one, I think percussion is my favorite portion. This has been my favorite percussion section. Like in the whole album, this has been the best. I think they've done more impressive things on other songs, but this one has stuck out to me the most, especially with that outro that, to me, I think is purposely made to sound like what you'd hear at the bottom of an ocean, because you'll hear some pretty creepy and strange things if you listen to like recordings from what's at the bottom of the ocean, and I think that's a good emulation of that. The song is just so good. Again, they do a really good job with the soundscapes in these songs and just their music in general. And this album, I'm going to say this now, I realize we're not completely done, but this is one of the most consistent albums I've ever heard when it comes to keeping a theme through sound and lyrics throughout the whole thing. Like it keeps an ocean feel throughout really, really well. All the way up to this point, I think we've stuck to that mostly. I think in the middle it strays a little bit away, but it still sticks to like the theme. If it's just slightly less ocean like, I think, for a few songs. All right, so that was Descending, and next we have Telomeres. All right, let's do this.
You guide me to safety.
I love how he ended that with an upward inflection.
As you breathe me out, I drink you in. And we go beyond the farthest reaches, where the light bends, erupts beneath us. And I know as you collapse into me, this is the start of something.
Pause it here. Yeah, this is another banger right off the bat. I really like this one. I like how it's sort of another piano ballad. It's slowing it back down a little bit. Although I feel like we've gone a little bit back and forth with just slower songs and a bit heavier ones. Although I will say even the heavier ones seem to be largely focused on slower portions, where you get some slow sections and then they bring in the instrumentals with rock. I feel like that seems to be a common thing that we're getting with this album, and it's working out really well. It's a much slower album than the previous one, which I personally am liking a lot. I think slow songs can definitely go either way. Sometimes they can be boring, but with this we haven't had any boring songs yet, which is just wonderful. Thank God. Thank God for that. All of them have just been good. They've done a really, really good job at being slow songs. Love the atmosphere on this one, like the creaky, or is it bubbly background? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. To me, I was thinking bubbles. I was picturing bubbles in my mind, which again, ocean sounds. I better just get back to it. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here so I can talk about some things before I forget. I think this song is super interesting because it seems to be talking about it's like putting that leading on relationship into a good light, like a positive light. Let the tides carry you back to me, the past, the future, through death. My arms are open. We go beyond the farthest reaches where the light bends and wraps beneath us, and I know you collapse into me. This is the start of something new. Oh wait, or is he talking about post death, like after they die, then they can finally be together, or is this? Because okay, now I'm a little confused because it's either that or that he's talking about that kind of push and pull relationship in a better light. Like he has, it's like it's more hopeful and it feels like, oh, this could happen. Like it's obviously a mutual feeling. Although I don't know, I feel like there might have to be something more to that because it might be a little weird considering we were just hearing an opposite feeling from that point of view. Unless that's done on purpose as like a juxtaposition between the two. That could be it. That's what I get from this. Kind of like why he thinks death is necessary, because after death they can be together forever. Yeah, and it's weird because it does feel happier, but you know, it's similar to one of the previous songs we had where it's like it's kind of like a fake happiness, where it's taking something bad, but putting it in a good light. You know, I think a good comparison would be to like Stockholm Syndrome, where it's like you're in a bad situation, but then all of a sudden your mind is like, starts attaching to everything. I think that's a good representation of what could be happening here. Anyways, let's get back to it. I'm not used to this sound from them. Like this type of guitar solo. Is that a wedding ring? There's that crackling and like bubbly sound again. Also, I just realized those are strings, weren't they? That's how immersed I'm getting into it. I'm not even catching everything. Not that I catch everything every other time, but usually I'm all in on the strings. Yeah, another really, really good song. Just a very beautiful song. The guitar solo is something I've never heard before, sound-wise, from Sleeptoken, which I just think is interesting. It didn't feel like a Sleeptoken sound, but it worked. He's twisting everything to make it good in his own mind. Yes, exactly. Which, again, I think it's something that's kind of, like, it's not good, but I think that's something a lot of people could probably relate to some extent. A lot of people probably not as extreme as some of this may or may not be. Again, it's kind of hard to decipher it, but it could be kind of extreme. I'm not sure. But I think people at some point, a lot of people have probably done that with things that are negative, but they try to make it positive as a way to make themselves feel better. This album is just really good at doing that, making things seem positive, or I don't know, just being relatable, I guess. Two's drumming makes this song, in my opinion. He fills the sound out so much. Yeah, there's a couple times I really did notice it, where some of his fills were just really complicated and intense. But it's like they blend in so well, they kind of, a lot of them, they're just part of the soundscape. Up next, we've got High Water, and we are now at 10,014 meters depth.
For the time being, I will still avoid my own questions, and we both bury that history deep.
Again with these synths.
I can hold my breath forever. the time being. You are still a perfect reminder of what all of these scars on my arms are for. If I can hold myself together, and I show myself on sacred paper, waiting on some holy favor, basking in the solace of regret. And it seems my hell is your high water. Wash me clean again before I pull myself beneath the waves.
All right, let me pause it here. This is another one of those songs that's making me really emotional just based on the production alone. This could be third song I cry to tonight. Holy cow. It's been a while since I think I've been this emotional to an album. Last one might have been Hosier's Unreal on Earth, to be honest. This one's just hitting really hard right now for me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just that the songs are that good. Whatever. Anyways, though, let me get back to the lyrics here because there's something I wanted to bring up. Give me a second. Oh yeah, it seems my hell is your high water. That line stuck out to me quite a bit, just because it seems like, so now we've kind of flipped back again, where it's like, oh, it's negative again, but when he's saying his hell is her high water, I'm assuming what's going on with that is that it's sort of like he's always kind of hanging around, he's always being that shoulder that she can lean on, or person she can talk to. But again, it's just that constant leading on thing where it's either she's locking away her emotions because she doesn't want to be hurt, or vice versa, whatever, doesn't want to hurt him. And it's turning into something where he's suffering, but she's for the most part doing okay, at least from his point of view. And I don't know, I think that line is a hard-hitting line that was done really well, especially with the line after that, wash me clean again before I pull myself beneath the waves, as kind of a reference back to Fall For Me. Really good song so far. I really love the synths on this one too. These synths are just right down my alley of things that I really enjoy. It's that sort of synthwave thing that you'd hear from bands like Health, and I don't know, I just really love that, especially because it's mixed into this alt-rock pop sound that I also really love. So it's the perfect combination that sleeptoken is just doing so well, especially on this album. Oh my god, it's crazy how hard this song is hitting me right now. It's like making my voice a little shaky. This song feels like vessel finally come to the surface of the ocean. Really, I think sound wise I can see that. Lyrics wise though, it just feels like it's, again, this constant back and forth between good and bad. Like, is this good, is this bad? Well, like it's a battle with his own emotions. Like, he doesn't know what to do with them, he doesn't know how he can handle them. This guitar is already crazy. I like how it's sort of distorted.
When the month of infinity buries its teeth in me, I'll smell through the agony for you. And I know you still bear the weight of your own existence, and you'll never bear the weight of two. And I'd show myself my sacred paper, waiting on some holy favor, basking in the solace of regret. And it seems my hell is your high water. Wash me clean again before I pull myself beneath the waves. For the time being, I will admit my defeat
I love
again.
this instrumental so much.
I will accept that I can't pretend.
Oh my, the way that that scream was kind of like repeated there at the end. This is another one of my favorites on this album. I really, really love this one. I love it a lot. And it's one of the most emotional ones for me. I think it's just, it really did hit me really hard. Yeah, this is another good one. And for me, the focus on this last half for the lyrics wise was verse 3. For the time being, I will admit my defeat again. I'll accept that I can't pretend we will ever be together. And I don't know if that's what you're talking about with the resurfacing, but the way I see it, it feels almost like in these between phases where he gets himself, because again, he said, I'll admit defeat again, because this is a repeating thing that happens to him for the time being, so it's temporary. It's like he resurfaces before he gets too close to this person again, and then he sinks back down in the ocean into those feelings, and it's a constant cycle. And I think that verse does a good job emphasizing that cycle. The key choice words of for the time being, and then using again after I will admit my defeat, I think seal that in really, really well. And also both guitar solos on this were really good. Am I mixing up songs? I don't know. Not with what I was saying about the guitar. That's how good this album is melding together. I'm like questioning which songs or which when I think back on them, just because they go into each other so well, they interlock so well. It's a nice flow. We're hitting that flow state. I like the slides and the reverb slides. The reverb is a really key thing in this album in particular. Reverb is used in a lot of music, but this one really lets it kind of draw out with everything that goes on to emphasize that sense of depth in the water. And I think that's one of the key components to why this theme is holding so well. For the time being is really the key part of the song. All his emotions are for the time being. From the start of the song where I can hold my breath forever to the end, I can't hold myself together. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's a good point. But you know, I can hold my breath. And that again, it's like whiplash between these two feelings for him. I think yeah, this song does such a great job emphasizing that point, that whiplash feeling. This is such a good album. Wait, there's only one more song, isn't there? It's one of those, it's a bittersweet thing when you get to the last song, because on one hand, it's like, it's the finale. We're getting to the, I don't know, that closing feeling for the album, the closer. But on the other hand, you just don't want it to end. What's weird is this is exactly how I felt about that Hosier album. Missing Limbs. Ending it with acoustic.
Just to let me know if nowadays the outer realms of heaven don't keep up on the charm offensive anymore, failing to remind you what you're living for. And I'd give anything to borrow your indifference. I'd drink you in to temper your belief in all my promises, to swallow my desire and choke on it. 'Cause it still makes my blood run cold to remember what they did before, the stories that you never told to me.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. That expands on that idea I had, I think, at the towards the beginning. That chorus does, because it still makes my blood run cold to remember what they did before, the stories that you never told me. This girl in this story, or whoever, this person he loves, those feelings that they were holding back, they swallowed the keys to those secrets. Those are the stories that you never told. Obviously, I think she was hurt by what happened before, so she just doesn't want to go through that again, which is, again, what I was thinking about earlier during one of the other music videos that we saw. I don't know, I think that's what's going on with that. And it's like he's building an understanding of that. It makes him so sick of what happened to this person. He's not even thinking about how it's a sort of leading on relationship anymore. At this point, he cares so much about them that all he's thinking about is the wrong that people previously had done. Maybe I'm getting that right, maybe I'm not. Yeah, I think this is the first song where we get a glimpse that maybe Vessel wasn't the only one hurt in this relationship. Yeah, like before, again, I had theories, but I think this does seal in that idea. Like it sort of confirms my thoughts. Anyway, so let's get back to it.
Oh, but worry not. The blessings rain
Little
and battles
nickname.
in the heavens holds. More polite advances won't last for long. The eager apprehension is wearing off. I'd give anything to balance your conviction with certainty. To fall asleep without you lying next to me. To sever my connection with everything. 'Cause it still makes my blood run cold to remember what I did before. The stories that you never told to me. And it still makes my blood run thin to remember what you are to him. And I live like I've got missing limbs for you.
I love when he sings in these falsettos. That like ending, it gives like a sense of, I don't know, dread, anxiety, whichever. I'm not really sure. Maybe a little bit of both. But also it's like that it's a rising sound instead of like a song, because a lot of the endings to this album have had songs that feel like you're getting deeper and getting pulled down because they're sort of going downwards. This one feels like it's going up. So maybe this is a resurfacing. But it also could be like, this is finally him, just it's finally over. Like he's took the sewer slide. I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways that you can look at that. I think it's probably left really open-ended with a sound like that. That sound is worth 1,000 words. No, that's not the saying, but I think it works here. I think there's so many different ways you can take that as the ending to that album. I really don't know. Again, it could just go so many different ways. It's super, super left up to interpretation. What I did find interesting, though, is the last couple lines. To remember what you are to him, and I live like I've got missing limbs for you. That also feels sort of open-ended, because there hasn't been another guy, I don't think, mentioned at all. Though I think there's been insinuations, but never quite a direct mention like this is right here. And do we take this as she's just holding feelings from another person still? Or that guy's still, like he was a terrible person, but he still loves this person that Sleep also loves? I think it's... I'm not sure. Again, I think it's left open on purpose, just like that sound is at the end. It feels like we're not given a full, complete ending. Like we're just kind of left not knowing 100% what anything means. Either way, though, a very, very beautiful song right there at the end. I really, really love that song. I should probably talk about this album as a whole. Ooh, let me sit up. Okay, yeah. This album was a really, really cohesive album. I think it was put together really well. The mix and master throughout was done fantastically. I loved the reverb throughout every song and the vocal layering. I think the way that they managed to use the reverb really helped emphasize that sinking feeling from just going deeper and deeper into the ocean, which just encapsulates the theme so well. It really does hold it together. Along with the lyrics, I feel like the lyrics, there's a lot of references to water, falling, sinking, things like that, being pulled down. And again, this is one of the most cohesive albums I think I've ever heard. The theme stays throughout every single song. It never feels like we're completely leaving the theme behind in any song here. Even like when it came to their last album, it kind of felt like it was kind of going back and forth between ideas and it wasn't a clear theme. This one is very clear. We have a very solid understanding of what's going on here about this relationship, or not even really a relationship. It's the lack thereof, this push and pull relationship that they're going through. So yeah, very, very good album. My favorite so far that I've heard from Sleep Token. There isn't a single bad song on this album. I liked every single one of them. There's a few that I definitely liked more. Crap, it's gonna be hard to kind of think of them. I know for sure I liked The Love You Want. That was one of my favorites. I think mine was as well. High Water was really good. It's hard to choose. And plus, since I only heard it the first time, I'm not super familiar with all the names and the songs yet. But I do really, really love this album. And this is maybe one of my favorite albums well, it's definitely one of my favorite albums I've heard in years. I'm just trying to think of how far up it is in my album ladder. I think it's pretty much, it's up there with Hozier's Unreal on Earth. That was a really, really good album, and I think this one is too. I'm really excited to hear their third one, and I'm really excited to hear that new single too. I'm baffled by how good this was, and it's so emotional too. I mean, I cried like 3 times. Crazy stuff with this one. I'm really happy I got the chance to listen to it, and I'm really excited to listen to more. I hope you enjoyed this reaction, and yeah, anyways, I will go ahead and call it there. So have a great night or day wherever you are. Don't get too depressed. This is a pretty depressing album, I think. There's also a little bit of a glimpse of hope there at the end. Have a great night, everybody, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.